Next is ionic radii. So ionic radii means radii of ions. So ionic radius may be defined as a effective distance from the nucleus of the ion up to which it has an influence in the ionic bond. So effective distance from the nucleus of the ion up to which it has an influence in the ionic bond. This is called ionic radii, and you know well that there are two kind of ions. First are cations and anions. There are two kind of ions. Cations are formed by the removal of the electron and which are positively charged. And suppose sodium, when sodium loses an electron, it gets converted into cation. So this is the cation. So cation has basically positive charge. Why? Because in sodium there is a number of protons and electrons are equal. In every atom number of protons and electrons are equal. Proton are basically positively charged and electron are negative charged. So when there is, in case of sodium, there is atomic number is 11, so there are 11 electrons and 11 protons, and further these electrons are negatively charged. So there is a balance between the positive and negative charge in a sodium atom. But when an electron is removed from sodium atom, that is, electron means negative charge. So negative charge is removed from the sodium atom. Which result in the remaining 10 electrons in the sodium cation. That is, sodium cation contains 10 electrons. Now number of protons remains as present previously, that is, number of protons is 11 and number of electrons are 10. So there is the proton charge gets automatically increased when an electron is removed from the neutral sodium atom. So there is the formation of cation. So this is the cation. Similarly, anions are formed by the, for example, chlorine. Anion is formed by the addition of the electron. So electron means negative charge. So negative charge is when added to the sodium atom, which is a neutral species. Atom is a neutral species. So when negative charge in the form of electron is added to the chlorine, it results in the formation of chloride anion. So there are two type of ions. One are the cation and other is the anion. So now we will discuss the size of the cation and the anion. So first of all, we will take size of the cation. So in general, the size of the cation is smaller than the neutral atom. So size of the cation, suppose that A cation is formed from its atom. So size of the cation, that is A positive, is smaller than the neutral atom, that is A. So this is due to the fact that with the removal of electron, from an atom, the magnitude of nuclear charge remains same while the number of electron decreases. As a result, the nuclear charge now acts on lesser number of electrons. In other words, the effective nuclear charge per electron increases and the electrons are more strongly attracted and are pulled toward the nucleus. This causes a decrease in the size of the atom. So suppose earlier there were, in case of sodium, suppose earlier there were 11 electrons. So 11 electrons were filling particular amount of nuclear charge. Suppose it's 100 units. It's not exact nuclear charge. I am just trying to make you understand. So suppose that 11 electrons were filling the 100 units nuclear charge. Nuclear charge means charge felt by the electrons from the nucleus of that atom. So when it loses an electron, there are now 10 electrons. Now 10 electrons are filling the same nuclear charge, because there is a loss of electron, but nuclear charge depends upon the nucleus. So now 10 electrons are filling the 100 units of nuclear charge. So it automatically per unit nuclear charge gets increased, and which result in the pulling of the electron cloud toward the nucleus, and which result in the decrease in the size of the cation. Similarly, in case of size of anion, in general, the negative ion or anion is always larger than that of the corresponding atom. The negative ion is formed by the gain of one or more electron in the neutral atom. Suppose chlorine is a neutral atom and it gains an electron and gets converted into chloride anion. So the negative ion is formed by the gain of one or more electron in the neutral atom, and the number of electrons increases while the magnitude of nuclear charge remains the same. So similar case here. Earlier, in case of chlorine, there were 17 electrons which were filling 100 units of nuclear charge. Now, after the formation of chloride anion, there are 18 electrons which are filling 100 units of nuclear charge. So, per electron nuclear charge decreases, which result in the increase in the size of the anion, because when the nuclear charge decreases, so the electrons are quite loosely held by the nucleus. So this is the basically fact. So if you will see that neutral sodium atom has 1.54 Armstrong size, whereas cationic sodium has 0.95 Armstrong. So you can see that neutral sodium is larger as compared to cation of sodium. Similarly, in case of chlorine, the size of chlorine is 0.99 Armstrong atomic radius, whereas chloride anion has 1.81 Armstrong. So there is again increase in the size of chloride. So next are the periodic trends in the ionic radii. What are the periodic trends in the ionic radii? Periodic trends मतलब how does size increases or decreases, or how does size varies along a period and downward a group. So for an isoelectronic series, that is ions having same number of electrons, the ionic radius decreases as the nuclear charge increases. This can be seen from this example. आइसोइलेक्ट्रॉनिक सीरीज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट आइसोइलेक्ट्रॉनिक सीरीज मतलब वो जिनमें सेम नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन होता है. तो जैसे N3 नेगेटिव है, O2 नेगेटिव है और F नेगेटिव है, Na पॉजिटिव है, Mg2 पॉजिटिव है, उसके बाद एल्यूमिनियम 3 पॉजिटिव है. ये सारे आइसोइलेक्ट्रॉनिक है. क्यों? क्योंकि सोडियम में यहाँ पे कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन है? नाइट्रोजन में कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन है? नाइट्रोजन इज हैविंग 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स प्लस दिस 3 नेगेटिव मीन्स 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स मोर. Oxygen atomic number is 8, so there are 8 electron plus 2 more electrons. Similarly 9 plus 1 here. Atomic number of sodium is 11, but 1 electron is lost, which result in the formation of this unipositive sodium cation. So there are again 10 electrons here. This magnesium lost 2 electron and result in the formation of 10 electron here. 11 minus 1, 12 minus 2 here. 13 minus 3. 3 positive correspond to loss of 3 electrons, which is the cation is formed by the loss of 3 electrons. So there are again 10 electrons. So these all are isoelectronic species. It means 10 10 10 electron, 10 electron, 10 electron. This is a isoelectronic species. So let me come back to our basic statement of this trend. For an isoelectronic species, the number of for an isoelectronic series, the ionic radius decreases as the nuclear charge increases. So see here, nuclear charge is increasing toward aluminium. Here minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. So size is decreases. So let me write here the sizes of these different isoelectronic species. Size of the N3 negative is 1.72. O2 negative is 1.40, F negative is 1.26, Na positive is 0.95 and Mg2 positive is 0.65 and aluminium 3 positive is 0.50. So you can see here, from here the size is continuously decreasing from N3 negative to the Al3 positive. Now there is increase in the charge. So this is due to the in an isoelectronic series there is an increase in the nuclear charge, and therefore the attraction for the same number of electrons increases. As a result, the electrons are pulled. So earlier same explanation applies here that was given earlier of this nuclear charge. So here we can see that nuclear charge is increasing, which result in the decrease in the size. Further variation of ionic radii in a group. So variation of ionic radii in a group. So as we go down a group, the ionic radius increases with increase in atomic number. See, as we go down the group, like lithium positive, sodium positive, potassium positive, are they isoelectronic species? What will be your answer? No, they are not isoelectronic species because number of electrons are different. In lithium there are 2 electrons, in sodium there are 10 electrons, in potassium there are 18 electrons, and so on. Different electrons are present, but downward the group size is increases as 0.60, 0.95, 1.33, 1.48 and 1.69. So size is increasing downward the group. So what is the explanation? This is mainly due to the increase in the principal quantum levels. The effective increase in the principal quantum level is more pronounced than the effect of increased nucleus. Principal quantum number means when you will write the electronic configuration, there comes to be 1s2 here, 1s2, 2p6, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. So there is the increase in the principal quantum number to downward the group. So this is the electronic configuration of cation. Keep it in mind. For neutral atom lithium, it will be 1s2, 2s1. For sodium neutral atom, 1s2, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. So here was 1s2, 2s2 and further 3s1. So this is the trend. Next is the ionization. Enthalpy. Next topic is ionization enthalpy. So what is ionization enthalpy? If you read this name, it means ion and enthalpy means heat. So it is the ionization enthalpy of an element is defined as the amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron from an isolated gaseous atom. So it is the amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron from an isolated gaseous atom. So it is the amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron from an isolated gaseous atom. So what will be the result of removal of the electron? So if we remove the electron from sodium, then what will be the result? There will be the formation of cation. So ionization energy result in the formation of cation. So ionization enthalpy is also called ionization potential because it is measured as the amount of potential needed to remove the most loosely held electron from the gaseous atom. The experimental values ionization enthalpy are determined either by spectroscopic method or by passing an electric current of gradually increasing intensity through the vapors of the element in a discharge tube. Further, thus the ionization enthalpy gives the ease with which electron can be removed from an atom. So evidently the smaller the values of ionization enthalpy, the easier is it to remove the electron from the atom. So there are various factors on which ionization enthalpy depends. First factor is the size of the atom. So size of the atom is the first factor which affects the ionization enthalpy. The ionization enthalpy depends upon the distance between the electron and the nucleus, that is size of the atom. So suppose that this is the nucleus is positively charged. Now ionization potential depends upon the size of the atom, that is distance between the nucleus and most loosely bound electron. So the attractive forces between the electron and the nucleus are inversely proportional to the distance between them. As you have read in the physics that force of attraction is equal to K into Q1 Q2 over R square. R is the distance between two charges. So you can write Q1 Q2 over R square. K is the sign of proportionality, constant for the sign of proportionality. So it means that force of attraction is inversely related to the this distance between the charge. So therefore, with the increase in the nuclear charge, it becomes more difficult to remove an electron and ionization enthalpy increases. So obviously, when this electron will be near to the nucleus, there will be attraction will be more, and it will be more difficult to remove the electron. Whereas when electron will be far away from the nucleus, it will be easy to remove it. Further is the screening effect of the inner electrons. In multi-electron atoms, the outermost electrons are shielded or screened from the nucleus by the inner electron. This is known as the further is the screening effect of the inner electron. So let me write here screening effect of inner electrons. So screening effect of inner electron means in multi-electron atoms, the outermost electrons are shielded or screened from the nucleus by the inner electron. So suppose that a multi-electron atom is there, and this is the nucleus, and suppose there are electrons which are revolving around the nucleus. Further, now suppose this is the outermost electron. Now between this nucleus and outermost electron, as we said in the definition, that ionization energy is the amount of energy required to remove the outermost electron. So suppose so in a multi-electron atom, suppose that this is a multi-electron atom and there is a nucleus and outermost electron. Now their inner electrons are also revolving around the nucleus, and further they are shielding the outer electron from the nucleus, as they are present in between the outermost electron and nucleus. So they are shielding or screening it. So this is called shielding or screening effect. As a result of this, the outermost electron does not feel the full charge of the nucleus. The actual charge felt by an electron is termed as the effective nuclear charge. So what is effective nuclear charge? Effective nuclear charge, Z effective, is equal to total nuclear charge, that is Z, total nuclear charge, Z minus screening constant, S, Z minus S. So this is the effective nuclear charge. It means this is the effective nuclear charge felt by this electron, outermost electron, that is total number of charge minus screening constant. This is the screening constant which is shown by given by these shielding electrons. So if the number of the electron in the inner shell is large, the screening effect will be large. Obviously, if there will be large number of electrons in this screening effect, the nuclear charge felt by the outermost electron will obviously be less. So consequently, ionization enthalpy will decrease. Thus, if other factors do not change, an increase in the number of electron tends to decrease the ionization enthalpy. So this is the screening effect of the inner electrons. Further, penetration effect of the electrons. So penetration means it is well known that in case of multi-electron atoms, the electron in the s orbital have maximum probability of being found near the nucleus, and probability goes on decreasing in case of p, d and f orbital. In other words, s electrons are penetrating toward the nucleus, then p electron, and the penetration power decreases in the shell. So penetration effect means the penetration of electron cloud. So around the nucleus there are different kind of orbital like s orbital, p orbital, d and f. So if you will write the electronic configuration, it will start from the 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. So in each principal quantum number, s orbital is nearest to the nucleus, by whether it's 1s or 2s or 3s or 4s or 5s. So they have maximum power to penetrate the electron cloud. So penetration power will have, S will have largest penetration power as compared to P, D and F will have lowest penetration power. Now if the penetration of the electron is more, it will be closer to the nucleus and will be held firmly. So consequently the ionization enthalpy will be high. This means that ionization enthalpy increased with the increase in the penetration power of the electron. Thus for the same shell, the required ionized enthalpy would be more to remove an s electron than to remove p electron, which in turn will be more than that for the removal of d electrons. Further, electronic arrangement. So the ionization enthalpy also depends upon the electronic arrangement. And how does electronic arrangement is determined? Electronic arrangement is determined from the electronic arrangement. It is determined from the electronic configuration. So the ionization enthalpy also depends upon the electronic configuration of the atom. It has been observed that certain electronic configuration are more stable than the other. For example, half-filled and completely filled shells have extra stability associated with them. You have seen this in the electronic configuration of like chromium. It is exceptional. Why it is exceptional? This is why exceptional. This is exceptional because it is half-filled. Half-filled electronic configuration is more stable. So chromium electronic configuration chromium is outermost is 3d5 4s1 instead of 3d6. So both the orbitals are half-filled. So this is the case here. It is difficult to remove electron from this stable configuration and ionization enthalpy is high. So this may be illustrated. The noble gases have the most stable electronic configuration. All the noble gases have outermost electronic configuration is ns2np6. So in each period have highest ionization enthalpies. The element like beryllium and magnesium have completely filled orbitals and the ionization enthalpy are large. So like beryllium or magnesium, that is second group. Beryllium has electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, whereas magnesium has 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 4s2. So these are the electronic configurations. Similarly, these are the stable electronic configuration which result in the higher ionization enthalpies. Similarly, the element like nitrogen has electronic configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p3, or we may write 2px1, 2py1 and 2pz1. So these are exactly half filled. Similarly, phosphorus also has 3 outermost electronic configuration, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p3. This is for phosphorus, this is for nitrogen. So all these have half filled, exactly half filled subshells which are stable. Hence they need large energy to remove the electron. Their ionization enthalpy are high. Thus the more stable the electronic configuration, greater is the ionization enthalpy. So this is the ionization enthalpy. So you can see there is a table given in the book from where you can see the different values of ionization enthalpy for different elements. So now again there are trends of ionization enthalpy in a periodic table, variation along a period and variation down a group. So first of all we will study variation along a period. So what happen along a period? Now there are different factors like size of the atom, electron cloud, penetration of electron cloud, charge, nuclear charge, and half filled, fully filled, or stable electronic configuration. These factors contribute. So we will see along a period what happens. Along a period, in general the ionization enthalpy increases with increase in the atomic number in a period. Why? Because in a period, along the period, size decreases. Decrease in the size will result in the outer electron will get more closer to the nucleus. For example, in first element it will be quite far away, whereas in next element it will be quite close. In our next element it is quite close, so it will be nearest. So due to this decrease in the size of the atoms along a period, the ionization energy will increase. So on moving across a period from left to right, the nuclear charge increases because size decreases, and the atomic size decreases along a period. So along a period, ionization energy increases along a period. Whereas downward the group, what happen? Downward the group size increases, so obviously electron gets far away from the nucleus, and which result in the decrease in the ionization energy. Further, there are some other factors which I told you, that half filled or some elements. So when you will be asked to compare two elements, when suppose that when you have been asked to compare carbon and nitrogen, and you will be asked out of carbon and nitrogen which will have higher ionization energy, although they will never ask about the values of ionization energy. If they ask out of carbon and nitrogen which will have high ionization energy, so you can see that there are different factors. Like first factor is carbon size of nitrogen is less than carbon. Moreover, electronic configuration of carbon is 1s2 2s2 2p2, whereas outer electronic configuration of nitrogen is np 2p3, whereas in case of oxygen it is 2p4. So there should be increase in the ionization energy along this carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. It was general trend that I told you earlier, that along a period in a general, but in a particular specific manner if you have been asked, so you can see that value of ionization energy for carbon is 1086, for nitrogen it is 1402, and it is 1314. So here the trend continues, this trend. Due to decrease in the size, ionization energy of nitrogen increases. But what happens on oxygen? It doesn't increases on when we move from nitrogen to oxygen, it gets decreased. Why? Because nitrogen has exceptionally stable half-filled electronic configuration, which result in its higher ionization energy of nitrogen as compared to the oxygen. So you can compare other elements like beryllium and boron. So beryllium has electronic configuration of outermost electronic configuration of 1s2 2s2 beryllium, and boron has 1s2 2s2 2p1. So now I told you from the electronic configuration values that 2s2 electronic configuration is stable, and here you have been asked to compare between beryllium and boron. Never you have been you will be asked in the these kind of question that two unrelated elements are asked. They will always ask about the related elements. There will be some kind of relation between them, like beryllium and boron are adjacent to each other. So you will be asked to predict the value of ionization energy for beryllium and boron, that out of beryllium and boron which will have higher ionization energy. So you can say from here that the ionization energy value of beryllium will be higher as compared to boron, although they are in the same period, that is beryllium boron. And we have said in general trend that ionization energy value will increase along a period, but here value for beryllium is 899, whereas for boron it is 800 kilojoule per mole. So why this happen? Because beryllium has a stable electronic configuration as compared to boron. Moreover, after boron will lose an electron, it will attain this stable electron configuration, that is 1s2 2s2, which is stable, so it will try to lose the electron easily as compared to beryllium. So these kind of question will be asked. And remember, in a periodic table there are large number of elements. They will not ask you about first element and last element or something like that. They will always ask you to compare the related elements, that is either they will be neighborhood elements either in the period or in the group. So it's not so that tough, it's easy. Just you have to remember the factors which are affecting the ionization energy. Suppose you have been asked to compare the ionization energy of isoelectronic species, so you have to just remember that how does the nuclear charge is increasing, charge number of charge is increasing, so you can predict from there.